So basically today's topic, coordinate geometry, is completely an off the track topic. Off the track in the sense there is only one chapter on coordinate geometry in your entire class 10th, and this is a very easy chapter. I think in my opinion this can be one of the most scoring chapters. So in your previous class I think you already had a fair idea about the basics of coordinate geometry, how to place coordinates and blah blah. I think you know that very well, right? Everybody, are you familiar with that?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yes.
So what we shall... Okay, so let's just touch the absolute basics. So let's start from the absolute basics. If anybody is having any kind of confusions, I think it will get cleared over here. So what is a coordinate geometry? So basically we are trying to deal with some points in a plane with respect to a reference point. The reference point is called the origin, and any other point can be traced by going towards the x-axis and a little bit towards y-axis. So always remember that the right side, going in the right side, constitutes of a positive direction, and similarly along the y-axis going in the upside is conventionally taken to be the positive direction. So to reach any point in this plane, we use only these two coordinates because this is sufficient for you to denote any point on this plane. So likewise, suppose I go 3 units to the right and then I go suppose 3.5 units to up. So the coordinate can be written as 3, 3.5. This is a very unique point in the plane, and this 3, 3.5 is the address that can be used to represent this very point. Now this is called the x coordinate, this is called the y coordinate respectively, as you can see very properly. So in this way you can just name any point. Every point on this coordinate plane would have some kind of identity, would have some kind of address that you can note here. So I think this point is clear to you. So if this is positive x-axis, this is negative x-axis. If this is positive y-axis, this is negative y-axis. So all the measurements along this axis will be negative. Suppose I have to reach a point here, so I have to go through the negative x-axis and then a positive y-axis. So in this way we can have the directions or the addresses of different points in the coordinate plane. So accordingly we have divided the entire coordinate plane into 4 sections. This is the first section, this is called the first quadrant. This is called as the second quadrant, we are running anti-clockwise. This is called the third quadrant, and this is called the fourth quadrant. We are just running anti-clockwise. And what are the properties of the addresses in each of this? In first quadrant the x-axis is positive, the y-axis is also positive. In second quadrant the x-axis is negative, the y-axis is positive. Shubhankar, the third quadrant, what is the x-axis? What is the x-axis in the third quadrant? Sir, it is negative, right? Because you always need to go left in order to reach here. Yes, you always, to reach any point in this part of the plane, you must first travel in the left direction, because you are always allowed to go only 2 directions, left, right, and up and down. So basically if you have to go left and then you need to go down, so that is also a negative direction in y. Is this properly understood?
Yes.
And in the fourth quadrant,
Yes,
the sign comes out to be positive, negative. That means you go positive direction into the x-axis and a negative direction to the y-axis. That's how you reach any point in the fourth quadrant. That's a kind of big property. You can also tell it at houses. Why quadrant? Because we have divided the coordinate axis into 4 equal planes. I mean, we have divided the plane along with the help of coordinate axis into 4 equal planes. So 4 and the name quad are parallel. I mean, they go in parallel. The essence goes in parallel. So quadrant means 1 part out of 4. So I think this much basics everybody is very fine to go. Am I clear? I mean, okay. Don't try to note these things, because anyway the notes will be available to you after the class. Okay. So can I proceed to the next concept? So once we have known about the basics of coordinate geometry, so naturally it comes what's next. So there are certain things that we need to derive. First is called as distance formula. Now what is distance formula? Till now we have only located points in class 9. What did you do? You located some points in the coordinate plane, and then I mean, you found out the x-axis, whether it is positive, whether the abscissa is positive, whether the ordinate is positive or negative, and blah blah, which quadrant the point lies in. But till now you did not learn that if you are given 2 points, how to find the distance between those 2 points. This is what is done with the distance formula. So what is distance formula? It's just very easy. So we want to find our main idea. If you sit with pen and paper, you can discover these things very easily. Our main idea is to find the distance between any 2 points on the coordinate plane. So suppose we have a point x1, y1, and we have yet another point which is x2, y2. And we need to find the distance between A and B, that is this distance. So if we need to find out how much this distance is, how should we approach the problem? So there is a very beautiful way in which you can derive how much is the distance between A and B. These derivations are necessary in order to get the satisfaction that you need not memorize everything. So basically, what I do, what is my idea, is first I make some lines like this, parallel to x-axis and y-axis. Why so? Because see, if this point is x1, y1, can you say that this is x1? This length is x1? Yes?
Yes, sir.
If this point is x2, y2, can you say that this length is x2?
x1 into x2 is equal to x2. Twice of x1 equals to x2.
It is not necessary. The points can be anywhere. It is not necessary at all. Well, it may be possible in certain very limited cases, but it's not a necessity. Are you getting my point? Okay. So now, some more stuffs. If this is y1, can I say that the length of this is y1?
Yes, sir.
If this point has, I mean, the y coordinate as y2, can I say that this length is y2? So, my central point, my idea is to find the length AB. If I wish to find the length AB, can I not see that this is a right angle triangle? So AB is basically the hypotenuse of this right angle triangle. So how to find the hypotenuse? Simply by our Pythagoras uncle. Pythagoras uncle states that hypotenuse square is equal to base square plus height square. Everybody agree to this?
Perpendicular square.
Yes, sir.
The same thing. Height and perpendicular is the same. Now, how much is the length of this base? Can anybody tell me?
X2 minus x1.
X2 minus x1. Can you visualize it properly?
Yes, sir.
So this much square is base square plus. Can anybody tell me what is this height? y2 minus y1. This entire height is y2 and this is y1. I am subtracting y1 from y2. So I am getting y2 minus y1, right? Is this clear to you? This is AB square. Huh?
Negative है যদি করি
Does not matter.
Sir,
It will.
explain once.
Yes. See, my idea is to find the distance between A and B. So the distance between A and B, as I can see, this is basically the hypotenuse of this right angle triangle. Can you see this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The right angle triangle, if I want to find the hypotenuse, there is a way called as Pythagoras theorem. I just applied that. Now my main idea, my main point of problem is to find the base and the height. So if I know this entire length as x2 and this length as x1, can I not find this base length as x2 minus x1?
Yes, sir, we can.
Similarly, for the height, we know that this entire height is y2 and this much is y1. Can I not say that the height is y2 minus y1? Can I not say this?
She says no, sir. We can say.
Oh, okay. Okay. So basically,
Yes, sir.
we just put it here, nothing else in this equation, in the Pythagorean equation. And from here, I can get AB as square root of x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. Okay? This is the famous distance formula. Am I clear?
স্যার এটা তো একটা কেসের জন্য
No, this is
Yes, sir.
this can extend to any other case, because this signs will be adjusting themselves in any other case. It does not matter, whatever be the quadrant.
বলতে দুটো পয়েন্টের মাঝখানে যদি তিনটা হয় তাহলে ওটা তো ডিফারেন্ট হয়ে যাবে
No, we are not concerned to find the distance between 3 points. In that case, you can use the distance formula 2 times. Here we want to find the distance only between 2 points, and that's how the formula is arranged for you. Okay, so please remember, this is the distance formula, nothing. x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square and the square root of that entire thing. So it will be very clear by, if you do a little bit of practice, you will see how easy this is. If I want you to find the distance between these 2 points,
Sir, it came to be as root 20.
yes, it
হ্যাঁ
is
স্যার
very much possible.
তো রুট 20
Okay, how many of you have brought the answer?
Sir,
Okay, see, this is very simple. This is x1, this is x1, x2, this is y1, this is y2. You simply subtract the x coordinates, that is 2, and square it, plus you subtract the y coordinates and then square it, and then take an under root of that. So that is 16 plus 4, that is root 20. The distance between these 2 points is root 20. Is that clear?
yes, sir.
Without having to plot them in the graph and painstakingly do the process of manual measuring of the distance between these 2 points, this distance formula is a very simple and powerful alternative to the same. Okay?
মজা আসলো আরেকটা দাও তো
I am for that only, for that moja ashlo thing. You just need to understand, and there will be many such moja ashlo instants. So suppose I want you to find the distance between minus 1,4 and suppose 7, আমারই তোর পাশে দাঁড়াতে ভয় লাগে। যাকে দিশা আনসার বার হয়েছে?
Yes, sir.
So see, this is very simple. See, whatever you do, either you do -1 -7 or 7 minus of -1, it does not matter, because ultimately you are squaring it up. So any kind of negative things will already become positive. So what is the distance between these 2 points? So this is -1 -7 whole square plus 4 minus 10 whole square under root of this. So you get 8 square plus 6 square, and 6, 8 and 10 are Pythagorean triplets. So it just is in my mind by doing so many times. So the answer is 10 units. Yes.
কোন কোয়াড্রেন্টে আছে ওটা কি করে ফাইন্ড করতে লাগে
Just by seeing -1,4 to reach this point, you need to go first in the negative direction in the x-axis, that is the x coordinate, and then 4, the positive direction in the y coordinate. So here, somewhere here is the point -1, 4. This is first quadrant, this is the second quadrant. So this point is in the second quadrant. Is this clear? Okay, do one more problem, please. There is a point P, which is k -1 and 2. This point is equidistant from the point 3, k and b k, 5. Please remember this thing. This point is equidistant from A and B, at an equal distance from A and B. Find the value of k. Okay.
Sir, I want the -5/6 here. Yeah, I did that. And what -5/6?
So there is a little calculation
Sir,
mistake.
two side root থাকলে তো root cancel করা যায় না?
Yes, you must square the two roots. Square both sides.
Yeah, I did so, but there was -5/6. I don't know why.
Okay, no issues.
K1 or 5.
Correct. So k can assume two values, either 1 or 5. I shall demonstrate this to you practically as well. Wait a minute. First of all, let's solve it theoretically. So firstly, from the question, can you see that PA is equal to PB?
Yes, sir.
So what is PA? It is root over k -4 whole square plus k -2 whole square, right? And what is PB? That is -1 whole square plus 3 whole square. Am I correct? Okay. So now what do? You square both sides. When you square both sides, the root will be cancelled out.
স্যার তোমার এটা তো x এর মতন লাগতেছে।
I don't get it. Okay,
Your
pardon me, but assume it to be k, okay?
এর জন্য প্রবলেম হচ্ছিল x ধরে দিছি আমি।
Does not matter, even then the answer would come out to be same. So
আলাদা ভেরিয়েবল
k -4 whole square. So what is the, I mean, what will you get by k -4 whole square? That is k square minus 8k plus 16 plus k square minus 4k plus 4. That will be equal to -1 square plus 3 square. So that is 10. So sign should not kill you because all are squared. Anyway, this is going to come positive. This should not kill you. This is very simple. So here you have 2k square from here, and then you have minus 12k, and then you have plus 10 is equal to 0. That implies k square minus 6k plus 5 is equal to 0. And now you know how to middle term factorize this thing, and you get k is equal to 1 and k is equal to. Acha. So what does it mean? That means there are two values of k for which this PA and PB will be equidistant. So I mean PA and PB will be equal. So suppose you have one situation, let us take as k is equal to 1. So P will be k -1 0, 2. A will be 3, 1 and B will be how much? 1, 5. Is this understood? This is just one situation I'm talking about when k is equal to 1. Is this clear? Everybody?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let us try to see it in real time graph. I guess that will make the feeling better. So this is I have the Gorib Manushar graph. So here I shall be taking a few points. What are those points? 0, 2 is one point, that is P. So P will be 0, 2. P is equal to 0, 2. Next is A is equal to 3, 1. A is equal to 3, 1. And the other point is 1, 5, that is B. B is equal to 1, 5. So see, now you have PA and PB. Now let me join the two lines PA and PB. Now let me try to find the length of this. So see, 3.16 is the length here. This length is also 3.16. Did you notice this?
Yes, sir.
This is for one value of k. This is for one value of k where k is equal to 1. Similarly, for k is equal to 5, you will be turning up with almost the same situation. Am I clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So this is all about distance formula. Now there can be several types of questions. There can be, the problems can be of various types. You just have to apply your brain on this. Okay. Now, just by seeing from the equation where it is coming, this is a quadratic equation, so it would have two values. Okay.
So na mane quadrants बोला तो क्या तो बोला था ना?
Not at all. That's why you need to solve, na? You can only verify your claims after you have solved. You can only verify your claims by that geometric construction. Acha. So this is the way you solve this kind of problems. Now with this, there comes an interesting point that is called as collinearity. Linear means a straight line. Collinearity of 3 points. So when are 3 points said to be collinear? When 3 points lie on a straight line, then we call that the 3 lines are collinear. Is that clear?
Yes,
If the 3 points don't lie on the same line, we can't call it collinear. For 3 points to be collinear, it has to lie on a same line. Now, if we are given 3 points, how can we show that the 3 points are collinear? How can we show this? This is very simple.
sir, by simplifying.
Nah, not like that.
Collinear कौन बोला एक बार बोलो तो?
Collinear means all the 3 points must lie along the same line. Okay? This is the meaning of collinearity.
So line just straight होता है.
Of course, a line has to be straight. That's the definition of a line. If the 3 points don't lie on a straight line, it is not said to be collinear. So, one simple property of collinear is, if you add AB plus BC, you must get the length of AC. So, this is the simple criterion for collinearity. Okay? If the lines are not collinear, then AB plus BC will always come out to be greater than AC, because that's the property of a triangle. Sum of any two sides is always greater than the third side. For any point B which is non-collinear, it will always form a triangle. If it is collinear, then this point will come down straight to meet here, and it will become a straight line. And for a straight line, AB plus BC is equal to AC. Am I clear on my point? Am I clear? So if you are given 3 points to check whether they are collinear or not, what's your first job? Your first job is to calculate AB, BC and AC. Then you see what sums up to be what. Okay? So, suppose I need you to check 1, 1, B minus 2, 7 and C3, minus 3. Are these collinear? Are these collinear? Okay, so let me find out. What is AB? AB is root 3 square plus 6 square. So that is 3 root 5.
Root 45.
Why? 6 square plus 3 square is 3 root 5. BC?
Yeah, root 45 means the same. Na?
Root 5 and root... Oh, okay. You say the entire answer to be root 45. Yes, that's absolutely correct. BC is equal to root 5 square plus 10 square. That is equal to 5 root 5. And AC is equal to root 2 square plus 4 square. That is equal to 2 root 5. So, you can see that AB plus AC is equal to BC. Because you did not sort out the roots, you could not see that this was very much additive. See? AB plus AC is equal to BC. It's not always necessary that you find out AB plus BC is equal to AC. The points can be arranged in other ways also, na? That's why first you find all of them and then you see. So this is AB plus AC is equal to BC. So this is kind of like this. This is how the points are arranged. AB plus AC is equal to BC. And in this way, the 3 points are collinear. Is this clear, everybody?
Sir,
Little bit of gorbor happened. But this is how you solve the problems related to collinearity. Is this very logical? Is there something you need to memorize from an extraterrestrial world?
Sir, आगे खाली A और B के join करो तब
No need to join or anything like that. You just find apply distance formula between AB, BC and AC. Then you see what addition is viable here, what addition is holds here. If there is no addition possible, then you must eliminate the possibility that this is collinear. Is that clear? This is the basic idea of collinearity. We shall have yet another idea to find collinearity by the end of this chapter. You will get a clear perspective about that later. But for now, is there any doubt in understanding this concept? That is not how things are done. That's what I said. You have to first sort it in the simplest possible manner. This is how you arrange it. Okay? The moment you arrange it like this, you will find this out. It may not appear directly like that. That's the reason you should sort it out, na? Always try to keep the number which cannot be brought out from the square root. Always try to arrange a number in that way. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What do you mean? Okay, A, B and C you want me to mark in the graph? Okay, okay.
Yes, sir.
That is very much possible. Wait, let me show you. This is garlic matter. Garlic is very important for your health. Ginger. Galoga. Ginger.
Turmeric.
This combination of ginger and turmeric. This is very good for your health right now. Every one of you must consume at least once a
Sir,
day.
yesterday again one meal happened.
No?
Yesterday or day before yesterday.
Are this class 9 fellows, they won't let me be alive.
Why, sir, what happened?
পরীক্ষা করছো মানে Can you see the points ABC? They are in one line. Let me show you even in a more better way. Let me draw a line. Can you see this? This is what I meant by collinearity. And this you can directly find out mathematically like this. Is this clear? Good. So let us proceed to the next part. This is also a very interesting part, and its application is also of quite a big scale. Like we learned the distance formula, so there is one more formula that is called as the section formula. What is section formula? This is also very interesting. Section formula is a formula by which you can find certain things, like suppose you are having a coordinate plane. Okay. Now what your task is, your idea is to find a point C such that this divides AB into the ratio of m is to n. Are you getting my point? It can be anything, 3:1, 4:3, 2:7, anything. Okay. I want to divide AB into two sections in the ratio m is to n, and I want to find that point which can do that. Okay, am I clear? This is basically my idea. Now what is the formula for that? It's very easy. How to find this x and y? So to find x, we only bother with x. To find x, we need to do mx2 plus nx1 by m plus n. This is the x coordinate. This will give me the x coordinate, where this point will be dividing this entire line segment into the sections of our desired ratios. And I shall get y, the y coordinate, in the simple manner. Just replace this x as y. So my2 plus ny1 by m plus n. This is the section formula.
Sir, I got confused.
কিছু করলাম না স্যার আরেকবার
No need to understand right now. I just introduced you to wait and it will be cleared. No need to be panic. No need to be in panic mode.
ওটা তো সেম হয়ে যাচ্ছে না x আর y কে ডিভাইড করা
So what I wanted to say is, suppose I have a point. Suppose this is of the length of 10 centimeter. If I want to divide in the ratio 2:3, 2:3 ratio, I want to divide this AB. So can you see that one part will be 4 centimeter and the other part will be 6 centimeter? Can you see this? This point, if it has to divide this AB into the ratio 2:3, see 4:6 is 2/3, 2:3. Isn't it so? My idea is to find a particular point which shall divide this line segment into that particular ratio which I want. Okay?
Yes, sir.
This much I think you know.
Yes, sir.
So the ratio is used in the context where we deal with sections. Okay, like my score and your score are in the ratio 1:1. That means my score and your score are basically the same. Okay, my score and your score are in the ratio 1:2. That means you score 2 times more than what I scored. Okay, so suppose I want to divide a particular line segment in some ratio. Okay, m:n. Now what does that mean? That means if I take the entire length of AB as L, then this much length should come out to be m by m plus n into L, and this much length should come out to be n by m plus n into L. Okay, I want to divide the point in a certain ratio, that's all. Suppose I want to trisect this. Suppose I want to divide it into 2 equal parts. So the ratio will be 1:1. Okay. Suppose I want to divide it into 3 equal parts. So suppose this part, this C will divide it in the ratio of 1:2. This is one part and this is 2 parts of the same length. Is this clear?
So what is that formula?
This formula, what is this formula? We shall be coming later. Now don't worry about that. Please tell me whether you understand the problem statement or not. Everybody?
m plus n by n কি করলা ওটা একবার
See, suppose I tell you that the total length, suppose I want to divide it in the ratio of 1:2. That means it is being divided into 3 parts. Out of this is 1 part. So this is 1/3 of the total length. Are you getting my part? Are you getting my point? These are very basic ideas of ratios and proportions. Suppose I want to divide a line segment in the ratio 2:3. That means in 5 parts, this will take 2 parts and this will take a total of 3 parts. See, 1, 2, 3, and this will take 2 parts. That is the meaning of the ratio 2:3. So if I wish to find this much length, I would have to do 2/5 into the length of AB. Similarly, to find this length, I need to do 3/5 into AB, Am I clear? No, not equal. It can be any ratio. I want to divide it in a certain way. Okay. Suppose there is a rod of 10 centimeters length. I want to divide it. I want to cut the first 8 centimeter and keep the remaining 2 centimeters. So I'm cutting it in the ratio 4:1. Are you getting my point? This is basically 8:2. That is 4:1. This is what I mean by cutting it into ratio. This is called a section.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So you would be asked in the question that this line segment is divided in the ratio of this. Then find the point which will divide this line segment. That is the idea. To find that point is our problem statement. So the x coordinate of that point can be given by this formula. You always multiply the first ratio with the second x-axis and the second ratio with the first x-axis to get the total x-axis. Okay. And similarly, you find out the y-axis. See, x-axis and y-axis are very symmetrical in nature. You just have to replace x by y. Okay. I'm not going into the derivations right now. You can easily see it in the book. Derivation of section formula is kind of unnecessary. You can see the derivation in my Unacademy video also.
Section formula.
This entire thing is section formula. To find this point is section formula.
Sir, means if we are not given m or n, we will be absolutely given x or y. But if we are given
Yes.
m or n,
You have to be given anything. Yes. You are to be given with something. Okay. So let us apply it into some problems. That will bring clarity.
Let me write the formula.
Okay. Everybody just write this formula down. But as you will see, as we will do some problems, you won't even need to, write this formula. This is so vocal. This will just be orally memorized. I am very sure about that.
Sir, m plus n যদি divide না করতাম তাহলে কি বার হতো?
Yes, sir.
The derivation is very easy, but that is actually time consuming and not important actually. We just need to learn the implications. Section formula, distance formula, the derivation was quite easy and important also. So I did it. Now, if you want, I can have a separate class and derive this. Nothing, not much of a problem. But now I want to complete this chapter. Okay. So basically, our idea is very simple. Suppose it is given that I have a point A minus 5,6 and a point B as 4,-3. Find the coordinates of trisection of segment AB. I am going to show you to this practically also, but first try to theoretically find it out. What is your problem statement? Your problem statement is you are given A and B and there is a line segment, and I want you to trisect this. To trisect means to divide it into 3 equal parts. So you need to find this coordinate. I gave you to find the points of trisection of this segment AB. Okay, let me solve this problem for you. Seems good? Good enough? Don't do this problem. Just see how I solve. You will get the entire thing. See, to find the point of trisection means this is 1:1:1, isn't it so? That is how it is divided. P and Q divides AB like this. So, if we want to find the point P first, I need to forget about Q. Okay? I need to only focus on how P divides the entire line segment. So can I say that P divides the line segment in the ratio 1:2? Because this is just 1/3. AP is just 1/3 of the entire length AB, and BP is 2/3 of the entire length AB. So can I not say that AP is to BP is equal to 1:2? So this is the value of M and this is the value of N. I need to find the coordinate of P. Is the problem statement clear? Because I need to find the coordinates of P. This is asked in the question.
আচ্ছা একটা কোঅর্ডিনেট বার করলে ওটা ট্রাইসেকশনাল ডিভিশনটা হয়ে যাবে
No, this is only one point. Then also we need to find this point also. I'm coming to that later. First, we forget that there is any Q. We only concentrate on P. Okay. So this point, if I want to find the x coordinate, that will be mx2, that is 1 into 4, plus nx1, that is 2 into minus 5, divided by m plus n, 1 plus 2. So that will be equal to 4 minus 10 by 3. That will be equal to minus 2. Okay. Similarly, to find the y coordinate of P, I will be doing the same thing again. So this is my2, that is 1 into minus 3, plus ny1, that is 2 into 6, divided by m plus n. That is equal to minus 3 plus 12 by 3. That is equal to 3. So can you see that the coordinates of P will be minus 2 comma 3? Can you understand this? Everybody, please confirm.
Yes, sir.
This is the same formula I'm applying. Now let us see it in the practical context, okay? Let us see whether this really works or not. So you have your favorite software, and yes, this is GeoGebra. This is a very useful piece of software. Yes, you must. When did I deny? Okay, so I have 2 points. Can you see this? And
Yes, sir.
one point of trisection I have found out to be how much? Minus 2 comma 3, just right now. So suppose P is equal to minus 2 comma 3. Now let us find out the length of this entire thing. There is also a line segment like this. So can you see that the length of line segment F, that is the entire line segment AB, is 12.73? Can you see this? Can you see this?
Yes, sir.
And if you divide 12.73 by 3, you get 4.24, right? Can you see this is the length of the line segment G? G is just AP. Can you see this? This is 1/3 of the entire length. So can you clearly see that point P is one point of trisection?
Yes, sir.
Can you see this, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Now our idea is to find one more point of trisection that will be somewhere along here. Okay. That 2 points will completely trisect the entire line segment. So let us try to find that. So for that we will forget that P exists. We will only focus on Q. So here are the points minus 5 comma 6 and 4 comma minus 3. We have only Q because we have sorted out, we have found out P. Now we have no business with that P. Now Q does make the section in the ratio 2:1. Can you understand this? Can you understand the difference between P and Q? P divided AB in the ratio 1:2 and Q is in the ratio 2:1, because this is on the rightmost side. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now apply the section formula and you will easily get what is x. X is mx2, that is 2 into 4, plus 1 into minus 5, 1 into minus 5 divided by 2 plus 1, that is 8 minus 5 by 3, that is 1. And y is equal to 2 into minus 3, that is 2 into minus 3 plus 1 into 6. 1 into 6. I was feeling that this is going to be the answer. So this is minus 6 plus 6 by 3, that is equal to 0. So this point comes out to be 1, 0. So if you open GeoGebra once again, this is the point. I said na, around here this has to be the point.
Yes.
Can you see that AP is equal to PC is equal to BC?
Yes, sir.
So can you say that P and C trisected the entire line segment AB? Here is where the use of section formula lies in. Am I clear?
Yes, sir. Now understood.
You just have to solve a little more problems in this, okay? Now just this is a very easy problem. Find the coordinates. This you just need to proceed logically and then apply the formula. Find the coordinates of point P on the line segment joining A1, 2 and B 6, 7 such that AP is equal to 2 by 5 AB. This makes me nostalgic. Do you know why? Can anybody guess why this question makes me nostalgic?
Sir,
Because this was asked in our board exams, when we gave board exams. I think I shall not wait for long right now. So let me start with this. So basically, there is a line segment joining A and B. A is 1, 2 and B is 6, 7. And I have a point P such that AP is 2/5 of AB. AP is 2/5 of AB, that means AP is 2, BP is 2:3. Can you understand this? Everybody?
yes, sir.
If you understand this, your problem is done. Huh? কি হবে or কি ভাবে? See, see, AP is 2/5 of AB. Are you getting my point?
স্যার সোজা ভাষায় বললে 5 ভাগে 2 ভাগ।
Yes.
Means the
So the
total
other
number
part has to be
is
3,
amount
right?
that-
Yes, yes. Mayuri turned out to be a better explainer than me. Thank you. Is this clear? Good. So now to find the x coordinate of this, I have mx2 2 into 6 plus 3 into 1 by 2 plus 3.
5.
So that is 12 plus 3, 15 and divided by 5, that is 3. And for y, I have 2 multiplied by 7, that is 14 plus 3 into 2, that is 6 divided by 2 plus 3, that is 5. So 16 plus 4 is 20, 20 by 5 is 4. So xy turns out to be 3, 4. This was asked in CBSE boards 2015. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Now there is yet one type of question which I think I should make you aware of. You might feel that there are not sufficient variables, there are not sufficient conditions given, but that's not so. So suppose I want to tell you that there's a line joining A and B. A is 15,5 and B is 9,20. This is asked in boards. Now there is a point P that divides the line segment. Okay, the coordinate is 11, y. So find two things. Find the ratio in which it gets divided and find the y coordinate of P. There is a point P which divides the line segment AB. The x coordinate of that is 11. Now I want you to find the ratio in which P divided AB and also the y coordinate of the point P. Try this. Okay, good. So now let's see this. So basically, if I assume the ratio lambda is to 1, what will it do is, it will reduce the burden of taking more, more variables into account. So because I know that this is 11, I can easily find lambda. How? Lambda into 9, because this is the x-axis. So 11 is equal to lambda into 9 plus 1 into 15 by lambda plus 1. So I have 11 is equal to 9 lambda plus 15 by lambda plus 1. So that is 11 lambda plus 11 is equal to 9 lambda plus 15. So 2 lambda is equal to 4. So I get lambda is equal to 2. Okay. The moment I get lambda is equal to 2, can I say the ratio is 2:1? So now lambda is equal to 2 and you know that the ratio is 2:1. Can you find out the y coordinate now, everyone?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm not doing this. Okay, now suppose yes, that's correct. So suppose lambda would have come out to be anything, suppose 3/4. Now what you would have done, lambda is to 1 would have been 3/4 is to 1. That can also be written as 3:4. Is this clear? Because this kind of problems you will be encountering. Be ready. Whenever you see this kind of problems where you feel that by taking the ratio as n is to n, you will be burdening yourself, take it as lambda is to 1. This is a golden trick. Okay?
Is it necessary to take lambda or in other variables?
Anything you can take. Make sure you don't mix it up.
My lambda becomes something.
Okay, your lambda becomes labda, right?
lambda like a
Yeah, actually.
first line.
Where? This is 11, right? This is the x coordinate. That is what I'm trying to find by section formula. No, here the x coordinate of the point is given to be 11 and I have a variable as lambda. I'm
And
trying to
these
find
are
lambda with that.
training on your handwriting.
So you should better bear with me. You should better bear with me. I would give you no other option. I'm sorry. Pardon me for my handwriting, but this is bad like this only. Okay. Thank you. So there is yet one more point. There are certain applications of this kind of things. Suppose you are given, you will be asked to find the centroid of a triangle. Do you know what centroid is?
That is the intermediate.
Correct. So
সবার বাড়ি এক জায়গায়।
So what is centroid? Centroid of a triangle. It is simply the intersection point of all the medians. What is a median? A median is a line that kind of bisects the two. Bisects the other side into two equal parts. So basically if AD is a median, then you can say that BD is equal to DC. Similarly, if this is a median, BE, you can say AE is equal to EC. Similarly, if this is a median, CF, you can say that AF is equal to BF. Is this clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So there is a very important property of median, I guess you would have read it in class 8, that a median, that this point is called as the, centroid. The intersection of all the medians is called as the centroid. Now you may have known this, that the centroid divides the median in the ratio 2:1. Did you learn this?
Yes, sir. Yes,
This is a geometrical result. Okay, you need to remember this. Now with this, yes, absolutely. Okay, so this you need to remember in order to carry out this surgical operation here. So suppose the coordinates are x1 y1, x2 y2 and x3 y3. Suppose I want to find this G. My target is to find the centroid and I would use the coordinate geometry to find this. See how interesting this will be. You know that BD is equal to DC. So can you say that this is in the ratio 1:1?
yes, sir.
So first find the coordinate of D. Can you say that it is x2 plus x3 by 2 and y2 plus y3 by 2? Midpoints can be written like this. Can you write like this? You see, 1 into x2 plus 1 into x1 is, x2 and x3 will be like this. Is this clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Now, you see this A and D. These are the two line segments, and this G divides this into the ratio 2:1. Now, once again, you apply this section formula according to the line segment AD, and you will get the coordinate of G. So, X will be how much? 2 multiplied by x2 plus x3 by 2 plus 1 multiplied by x1 divided by 2 plus 1. So this comes out to be x1 plus x2 plus x3 by 2 by 3. Did you see this? Similarly, y will come out to be y1 plus y2 plus y3 by 3. As simple as that. So the coordinate,
So this is the formula.
yes, the coordinate of centroid of any triangle, it does not matter what, will be x1 plus x2 plus x3 by 3 and y. This was task.
Not required, no?
Huh? No, not at all. I just showed you that this is how you can find out the centroid.
You need to write the.
Okay, so this pretty much is all about this section formula. There is one last topic, a very easy topic, that is area of a triangle. Now in coordinate geometry, we have a dose to find areas as well. Suppose we have 3 non-collinear points that would form a triangle, isn't it so? If we have 3 non-collinear points, it would form a triangle.
Yes.
And x3 comma y3. Now, if I want to find the area of this triangle, there is a formula. It's a very interesting and very important formula. What is it? That is mod of half into x1 when you take y2 minus y3 plus when you take x2 you take y3 and y1. When you take x3 you take y1 and y2. Done. What is this bar? This bar sign is called the modulus. That means, see, area cannot be negative. There is no sense to it. So whatever value comes, you always bring the positive value out of it. That means, suppose the answer comes to be like this, mod of -5, that means 5 is the answer. Okay? Is this clear to you?
So the formula, can you repeat?
Yes. You first do half. Then, after that, you take x1 and you multiply it by a difference of y2 and y3. Then you take x2 and the difference you have is y3 and y1. Then you take x3 and you have the difference of y1 and y2. Okay? Let me make it a little easy for you. This just came to my mind right now. Suppose this is y2, y3, y1. This is x1, x2, x3. So first of all, half should be the factor you must never forget. After that, on second you can. What nonsense is this?
y1 के धरो a.
Wait a minute.
y2 के धरो b.
Wait a minute. Remember this thing. Whenever you take x1, this is y2 minus y3. Whenever you take x2, this is y3 minus y1. And whenever you take x3, this is y1 minus y2. You rotate like this. Am I clear? This is a shortcut that I myself never got. This came to my mind. So remember it like this. Yes.
y1 के धरो तुम्ही a, y2 के धरो b, और y.
No. No need to get confused like that. That will bring utter sense of confusion when you have already the sides of triangle as A, B, and C. The vertices. No. This 2 by 2 by things should not happen. What is a better way of memorizing than this? You just have to remember this cycle.
Everyone has a different technique of them.
This is very easy. Graphical techniques are always the easiest. However, for memorizing this formula, you can apply any technique you want. You are at your complete liberty to do so. And if you ask me, if you ask me how to derive the area of this triangle, so first draw perpendiculars, and you will observe that this is a trapezium and this is a trapezium. I mean, not trapezium, this is a quadrilateral actually. Do you observe this? Okay. So basically what you need to do is to find the area of this. First find out this entire area, add it to this and subtract it from this entire area. That will kind of bring you the answer. So you have three trapeziums here. This one, and the entire trapezium, this one. So you add the two and then subtract it from this big trapezium and you will get the area of this triangle. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Just as an exercise, find the area of the triangle whose vertices are A2, 7, B3, -1 and C -5, 6. Quickly. How much is your answer?
Sir, 28.5.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
28.5.
Congratulations. So this is how you calculate the area of any triangle, okay?
Sir, हमारा 1.5 बताएगा.
You must check it.
Because
So x1, you must remember the order properly. x1, y2 minus y3. x2, y3 minus y1. x3, y1 minus y2. Is this clear?
yes, sir.
So this becomes 57/2 or 28.5. Okay.
So it means 2 minus 3, तब 3 minus 1, तब 1 minus 2.
3 minus 2, 2 minus 1, 1 minus 3.
No. What are you talking
2
about?
minus 3, 3
Are-
minus 1.
No, the difference should be only of the y-axis, not the x. Why are you forgetting this?
Yeah, I'm just telling the
Oh, y2 minus. Okay. Yes. 2 minus 3, 3 minus 1 and 1 minus 2. This is how you should bring it up. Okay. Now, just from this perspective, try to see if the triangle is like this also, there would be some area, right? But suppose this point lies on this line itself. So can you say that the area of the triangle will be 0? One more way of testing the collinearity that we did here, one more way is to find the area of this triangle. If it comes out to be 0, the 3 points are collinear. Is this clear?
আমার question বুঝতে পারলাম না.
This is what I said. If the area of the triangle formed by these 3 points is 0, that only means that the 3 points are in a same line, in the same line. There is no triangle forming. Where from the area? I mean,
That
from where
means
the area would
that
come?
the 3 points
Are collinear. Yes. Okay.
Area 0 হলে collinear?
Yes, of course.
Yes, means
If area of the triangle is 0, that can only mean one thing. A triangle has area 0. That can only mean one thing, that all the 3 points lie on the same line. There is no triangle, or all the points lie on the same line.
ওই যে ফার্স্ট নাম্বার ব্লু কালার দিয়ে যেটা বানাইছো ওটা হবে না, এটা সেকেন্ড হতে পারে.
This area is not equal to 0. Okay. So basically, congratulations, we completed the entire coordinate geometry. I think this was very easy. This was not very tough, in my opinion. You just need to go through this simple 3 to 4 formulas and concepts, see a little bit of example problems and start doing. There are 4 exercises and you need to practice a lot of problem here, because these are calculative in nature. There is not much concepts, there is not much toughness here, but in terms of calculation, there are quite some calculations. Okay. So here we complete the chapter and you will get the PDF just after the class.